everyone. Welcome into this video. My name is Dan Hafner. I am the founder of Dapper Mobile Apps here. And inside of this video, we're going to be talking about where to begin. We had a recent question posed in our Facebook group of something very relevant for you guys. Like where do you start as a beginner? So I'm just kind of noticing my appearance here. Excuse the this big woolly coat over my nice shirt. My wife likes to keep the thermostat in our house cranked way down, and I don't roll like that. So either way, so we're going to talk about this is very interesting because I have a resource for you guys. If you go into our Facebook group, if you're watching this on YouTube or out there or in our app, you can definitely check this resource out in our app or in the Facebook group. I'll put it in the comments below. I have a really cool worksheet for you guys called the App Clarity or App Design Worksheet. And it's not as complicated as you'd think it would be, because really what it is like a two-page worksheet. It's got like 9 questions on it, where you can actually print it out and go through. I put this out in one of my challenges last year, where you can actually go. It's really just a very clarity getting exercise for like who you're at. You wouldn't even know that it's an app clarity worksheet really, because it's more of an idea filtering process, because it talks about who it's for, what you're going to do, what the features are, how you're going to make money off of it, like just the overview stuff. So that worksheet, you'll see in the comments below here, or if you're not in our Facebook group, you can join the Facebook group Mobile App Mastery, and you can get access to this for free. It's super valuable, and we also cover this entire question, this entire process inside of our upcoming mastermind group, which I want to invite some of you into personally here in the near future. But today, I just want to give you a basic overview of kind of where I started and where I recommend people start. So many of you may not know my story, how I got into Dapper Mobile Apps, how I started doing the no code app development. I even to this day, I know very little coding. I outsource a lot of that if some of our clients need that kind of stuff. I never went to school for it. I never developed that skill. I tried, right, when I had this idea for a health and fitness app that I wanted to go down the path of. I did not know how to code, so I started trying to learn how to do that. And there was, languages like HTML and Swift and Ruby on Rails and all this type of stuff. And it lasted about a day or two. um Sorry, let me close my Facebook window here. And I realized that was not going to be a fun time. Like I did not, I was like, oh man, like that is a lot of work to learn that if you've not learned it from a young age, right? So I highly recommend you give your kids coding classes. But my second option was like, okay, I'll just like figure out how to pay someone to do this, right? So I went out to Upwork and I went out to all these development agencies I could find online, and I asked them like, okay, this is kind of my idea, what I want to do, and how could this work, and what this could be, and they came back with astronomical prices, right? So those were really the two type of paths that you really have to go when it comes to this. It's either figure out how to build it yourself or have someone build it for you, right? Which is kind of why our mastermind goes right down the middle, and we also teach you what to do, but we also do part of it for you. So there's like this hand holding experience, right? Um, but really, it all starts with the idea. Like it all starts with a novel idea. Like what value, what as a user, right? What am I getting when I download your app? Like when people search for apps, when they say there's an app for that, it solves a specific problem, right? Like there's a certain benefit or pain that I'm solving in my life because of that app, whether it's a game, right? Whether it's a social media network, whether it's a tool, an actual resource. Like I have an app that measures the distance in AI, right? It's like a measuring tape that you can do in 3D, right? Like something like that, because it solves a very specific problem, right? So a lot of the apps that we do when it comes to like coaching and consulting and content, right? It's not that your app is gonna be like that one of like there's tons of those types of apps out there, right? But you can still get very clear on your idea. Like what is the specific path you're walking your people through that they can't get anywhere else, right? That's a valid idea for an app. So you start with that. The second piece that I recommend that people do, and we walk people through this process as well, is doing your market research. It's very, very important to go out there and find other, like, find what else is out there. I guarantee you there's going to be competitors out there. There's going to be established apps. There's going to be established brands that maybe have already done your idea or have done it, but like you're like, okay, well, they do it, but it's not really my idea. Or maybe they have pieces of it and I want to do this specific thing a lot better. And that's perfect. And one thing I will say is I see clients do this all the time. They go out and they say, "Oh, I want to build this in like this app that's a little bit better than this one." And remember, like no one, not a lot of people, I shouldn't say no one. No, not a lot of people want just something a little bit better. Like when I go to trade in my car, I don't want just like the year newer. Like I want something a little different. I want something novel. I want something that like takes me 10 steps ahead, right? Not just one step ahead, right? And then the other thing I see happen with people is they go out, they say, "Hey, I have this great idea. This is what I want to do." And then they find somebody out there that's already done the exact same thing. And they're like, "Well, can't do that. Idea's already taken, right?" But what I'll ask you is, did Burger King go out of business, when McDonald's came along, or maybe the orders out of, there's fast food places all over the country, right? There's Jimmy John's and Subway and all the different sub things. There's always a competitor in a space, right? And yeah, you may not ever get to the level that your competitor already is, maybe, but there's a market share out there that can feed your family, that can do what you need it to do, right? So don't get discouraged if you go out there, you start doing your market research and you find other competing apps or you find something out there like the one that I started as a health and fitness app. It actually was a play on two different ones that I found out there in the marketplace. I was like, I really like what this one does, and I really like the features that this one does, and I combine that all into one, right? So that's even an option that you can do. You can combine 10 different ideas if you really want to, right? So that's number one. Again, get the idea nailed. Number two, the market research. And then number three is really start to think through the features. And this kind of comes along with the second part in the idea. Like, so I have the idea, I have the market research, and I know what the landscape of what other people are doing. Now, what are my ideas? What are the features that I really want to highlight and use in my app, right? Whether you're doing a coaching and consulting app with us, right? You want to say you want to just focus on the content piece, you want to focus on the courses and the memberships or maybe you want a specific like a habit tracker or a weight tracker or a meditation piece or audio pieces or whatever the case might be. What are those features that you want to include that are going to be inside of that offer stack that's going to be like, hey, my app does this and this and this for you, and it solves this and this and this problem, right? So those are really the first three pieces. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Vicky was the one who asked this question, and so thank you very much, Vicky, for asking this question. I really appreciate it. It's always good. I always have ideas to bring in a lot more advanced content in here, but I like just coming back to the basics. It's really really good. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. Again, don't forget, I'll actually post this. In the comments below. And if you're in the Facebook group, I think there's a way we can put it in the guides or the files. But it's called the let me make sure I get the name right for you. The app design worksheet is what it's called. Okay. So I'll put that in the Facebook group. Again, if you're not part of the Facebook group, go into Facebook, go into groups and search mobile app mastery, and you can request to join the private group for free. And you can get access to all this in here, plus more content, plus our app, plus all kinds of other cool stuff that you can get access to where we talk about specifically these no code, these coaching apps, these content apps that are really helping people take their business and their expertise to the next level. All right, so that is all. I hope this was helpful. Thank you very much, Vicky, for submitting this question. Keep them coming. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to share these in the mobile app mastery group, and I'd be happy to answer them for you in this style format. All right, my friends, that's all I got for you. I'll talk to you next time.